Good morning from New York City. I could easily have started that with good morning from my bear cave. I've definitely spent an inordinate amount of time this month on my own, and of course, I did so by design. I intentionally put myself in a situation where I would get to the point of finding the beautiful expansiveness that comes when you embrace being alone. I also think there's a point when the ROI curve of being alone starts to wane. And I think that happened for me maybe on Friday. I went to a wonderful lunch. I was invited to lunch. I think we were 6 or 7 people. And I came away entirely energized and inspired by the conversation. And it reminded me of the importance of finding that balance between being alone and making the effort to connect with people in person. And of course, I'm stating the obvious, but I'm doing so intentionally because I know a lot of people really do hunker down in January, and it is important to find that balance. In fact, ever since I've been making a little bit more of an effort to dip my toe back into being a little bit more social. So, one of the themes I have been noodling over the last few days that I was thinking about just now as I was having my morning coffee is uncovering unconscious or subconscious limiting ideas or beliefs. And I'm not sure I know exactly how to do it, but one of the questions that I've been thinking about is what is it that may be holding me back in certain areas of my life? Or perhaps better said, is there something there that I need to examine that may be acting as a drag on my bias towards taking action? And it's funny, as I'm saying this, one of the things that's popping into my mind is something that my father used to always say, which was, wait until the elephant moves its foot. And that was his way of inviting me to learn patience, reinforcing the other thing that was a big part of my life, which was trusting my intuition and that knowingness. And that's generally how I live my life. But when I flip the coin on that and I ask myself, is there something is there some belief or idea that's holding me back? A lot of things have started to bubble up. In my life, I'm thinking in particular about two areas. One is relationships, romantic relationships, and the other one is my work life. So, without getting too personal, I would say that as much as I enjoyed the camaraderie, and as much as I do enjoy the camaraderie of a great romance and a good relationship, of course, we can lose ourselves along the way in a relationship. I think everybody has faced that. And I've greatly enjoyed being on my own since I moved on. So, back to the point of examining limiting beliefs, I've been asking myself, is there some fear there of getting into another relationship? Or what residual or what from that past relationship is informing how I'm thinking about putting myself out there again? And I think the reason I'm sharing this is because I found myself, I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, verbalizing things that I don't want. And of course, when I caught myself, I stopped and I shifted my thoughts to thinking about what I might want or what a future relationship might look like. And that led me down the road of thinking about what else might be there that I'm not conscious of that could be getting in the way of attracting what I want. I would say this has also been happening in the work sphere. I found myself saying this little clever line, just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I was saying this around the idea of building a business. I see an opportunity. I know that I could probably build a business. And I started saying out loud, just because you can doesn't mean you should. While I think that is an intelligent thought, it can be a great reminder in many areas of our life. I found that that was a negative thing I was telling myself. It was triggering an almost, be careful what you wish for type of thinking. And that's not the kind of thing I want to have in my mind. It's much more expansive and inviting to say, I wonder what this could be. And again, the reason I'm sharing this is because there's a lot in the last business that I built and led, Scout Talent, that is bleeding in or creeping in to the way I'm thinking about what it means to build and lead a business. Anyway, all this to say that I'm reflecting upon what is it in my past life, my romantic life and my work life, what is it that could be unconsciously seeping into my thinking around these areas that feel very fertile to me right now? And how can I shift my thinking so that the seeds that I'm planting are fertilized with curiosity and the dreams and desires of my heart and not tainted with these thoughts of what I don't want or what didn't work from the past? I never have been, and I never want to be that person that's looking in the rearview mirror. So that's what's on my mind today. Energy flows where your attention goes, that's for sure. I'll end with a quote that perfectly encapsulates this thing that I'm noodling right now. It's by Carl Jung. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. Let me say it again. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. That's all for now. Until next time, from my heart to yours.